This is why I can't support the New York Times anymore. The New York Times says, Raz is criticizing and attacking us. Question, how is he doing so? Answer, reading the comments below your own articles. Hi everyone, I'm Raz and I'm here to tell you that the New York Times piece about me is finally out. I want to also share with you that they posted it exactly on the 5th anniversary of Ychina, and he did not answer any of the 5 questions I had to him. When I opened the article, I realized that I gotta pay for this. I can't even watch it myself. Anyways, he included 21 words from my 455 letter response to him. Not a lot, eh? To be honest, the content of the article about me is exactly as I predicted a week ago in the video. It comes and says as a title, the state behind the camera, and right away shows my video. And I clearly said to him that I did not get paid or directed by any state media, but he still decided to create this predetermined conclusion for his audience. Later on, he does mention that I was shared by hundreds of different accounts all around Twitter and YouTube, things that I told you I don't have control of. Whoever shares me, also the New York Times. Go for it, do it. It's got nothing to do with me. Originally, I wanted to give my own reply right away, but then I looked at the comments. I was shocked because the comments below the article have everything that I want to say back to the New York Times. So for the next few minutes, I'm going to show you guys the comments below the article. Christy Franklin, New York Times. You and other Western media have been spreading misinformation about China for a while now. These people live and work in China. Their videos show the real China. I trust what I see in these videos more than the misinformation you and other Western media put in the articles. Stayed behind the comments. Okay, I moved on. Next one is Robin. If only NYT could see the other side of the coin, the promotion of destabilizing ideology in the West, but that might require a little too much self-reflection. Helena said, I can't understand why people visiting in China vlog what they personally witness, and why does it contradict what Western media keeps telling us from paid journalists who are pounding away anti-China hit pieces in their New York, DC apartment. Wait, maybe these are my army. I pay these people to comment. These are all my state media people. Yo, these guys are all mine, because that's exactly what I say. It's just being put much better than me, especially maybe because these are native English speakers and I'm not. Thank you guys for making my statement without even talking to me. Next, lol, no one in the world is allowed to love Chinese culture. And if they do, they're 100% employed by the Communist Party. Then the people who worship the US, who drop bombs on the world, must be from the heart. Another joke, the New York Times is not a propaganda tool for US. Some of these comments are very aggressive, by the way. I'm just reading to you what's written. It's basically, what I'm trying to make a point is that when they write pieces like this, that's full of predetermined conclusion, lack of evidence, and complete anti-China bias, they're making their readers think that they are propaganda themselves. That's what they're doing. They're actually going against their purpose. They're making the readers understand that the New York Times actually has a purpose that's not very pure, not very objective behind it. Let me keep reading to you. New York Times has long turned into a propaganda tool that stifles expression of free speech. When the only tool they have, basically, is a Hummer that says that everyone looks like a CCP supporter. When people who are actually educated and are open to understand China read this, they right away see through the New York Times' real intentions. Just imagine this scenario. The New York Times says, Raz is criticizing and attacking us. Question, how is he doing so? Answer, reading the comments below your own articles. Let's keep going. Showing China how it is, positively? White people, that's unacceptable. That's a mocking statement. He makes like smiley faces. Positive ideas or coverage of China is the original sin through their eyes. So whatever I do, by default, just by opening this camera, guys, what I did 5 minutes before, is a sin, according to them. Your strategy isn't working on your audience, guys. They're seeing through you. Let's keep going. So, like the US military and Michael Bay films. Next one. If the critiques is the other way around, the New York Times will accuse of interfering in their country, but when they do it, it is totally freedom of speech. WTF. Oh, and by WTF he means well-trained fakers. New York Times must be in shock that there's more than one voice out there. That's exactly how I felt when I got the emails from Paul. I was like, dude, just watch the video. It says everything there. What else do you want? Are you that angry there's another voice, another perspective out there? Is it that terrible? And you know what happens when you write stuff like that? This is why I can't support the New York Times anymore. Let me read this guy. There's a Ken Goldman here makes an interesting point. And he got a lot of likes for this comment, one of the top comments. Unfair article. Only discusses small independent expats, current or former, who have a more positive view towards China than what is commonly put out there by the mainstream media such as New York Times. Also, made no mention of anti-China influencers and who might be influencing them. He would never mention all the anti-China YouTubers and their entire ecosystem behind them, because if he would write about the anti-China influencers, then it will be his own biography, right? As this article was published, I was just very curious about what is the coverage of China like on the New York Times. I went through 62 articles over the last 3 weeks on the New York Times that mentioned China more than 3 times. 85%, 53 of the articles, have a direct negative reporting about China on many, many topics. 8 of them were neutral, did not make any negative or positive statement, and only 1 was positive. Trust me, if I go and analyze the entire 5 years, 10 years back of China-related reports, I'm not going to be surprised if the negativity is above 80%. How could you expect an audience, a reader, to get a full view, a perspective of what's happening if all he gets is anti-hate, scandal, terrible? I'm just honestly just disappointed. There's so many perspectives out there, so many people willing to share their life in China. And you guys always pick on these negative issues you believe are true. And that piece you wrote is extremely unconvincing. And I will make points later at the end why they're unconvincing. They're just extremely ridiculous claims that actually depict and discredit themselves in the article. We'll get to it at the end. Let me show you some top comments that got a lot of likes. Seriously, I think he may actually believe what he says. But with this kind of nonsense, Paul not only discredits himself, but also the newspaper he works for. As I was reading through it, I actually noticed that the New York Times slogan is all the news that fit to print. Whatever fits their ideology, whatever fits their agenda, they will print it. If it doesn't fit, they will minimize your voice, and they'll make you look bad. Guide their readers into their own conclusion. Next, that looks like a guy who reads a lot of the New York Times. He says, the same lazy hit piece, over and over again. No one ever actually engages these ideas or the debunking of the New York Times BBC anti-China narratives. It's not the first time they're doing this. It's been happening over and over again, just like this guy said. And this period of time, it's getting worse and worse. We truly need the support of people who understand and know who we are to stand with us through this. So I thank every single person who's been supporting me through this journey. And just so you know, it's not gonna end so soon. And I'm not gonna give up so early. So hope you stick with me for the long run. What's really funny is that I read to you so many comments, and a lot of them were top comments as well. Now, there's people who came to the comment section and they wrote this. 1, top comments are all CCP shills. 2, the replies to this are discouraging. These 2 comments prove 2 things. First, the majority of the comments are against this predetermined conclusion of the article. 2, it proves how difficult it is to change a person's conception. And lastly, after reading the comments, let me tell you 2 things I learned from Paul and the New York Times reporters. First, I learned how to discredit myself. Look at that section of the article. YouTube told the Times that it hadn't found evidence that these creators were linked to coordinated influence operations. No evidence! Okay, you discredit yourself. And second, extra information. A day before the NYT article was published, Paul tweeted an article posted by the ASPI. According to the New York Times article, the ASPI is funded by the Australian and American governments and companies including military contractors. why don't you repost our video and give us maybe a like? Let me just give you a proverb I learned in China recently. 这行捉贼. And lastly, I have a request from people and medias all around the world. Please provide a more multi-dimensional perspective on China. Never keep narrow. In conclusion, this is my response.